Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Flash. Today I am ranking who I believe are the top 10 players you can start in defense in AFL SuperCoach for 2026. Throughout this video I will explain some of the pros and cons of these various players, as well as including graphics with relevant statistics to help you make an informed decision on who you should start when you make your teams. This is the first in a 5-part series of me ranking the top 10 players for every position. So, subscribe and click the bell icon if you don't want to miss them. And with that, let's get into the video. So, in 10th, I have Colby McKercher. Colby McKercher has that role clamped down tight there at North, and it's a role that has scored consistently well in previous seasons, with the likes of Sheasel, Daniel, and McKercher himself scoring from that halfback distributor role well. Natural progression as well will only increase his output, and I can only see his average increasing in 2026, which puts him 10th on this list as a very, very good value pick for your backlines. In 9th is another good value pick in Nick Newman. Nick Newman is coming off a patella injury he sustained in the 2025 preseason, but by all reports, he is back tracking towards a full preseason for 2026. If he gets through that unhampered, he should be looking to return to that 100 plus average that we know he can get and that he has gotten in the previous seasons. The injury cloud that still lingers around that patella injury, however, has stopped a lot of people from selecting him in their teams and has also prevented me from placing him any higher on this list. In 8th position, I have Bailey Dale. As a Dale owner last year, I must tell you he can be a frustrating own, and he is prone to a few lowly 60s over the course of the season. But there is definitely upside there too. He's very good at beating up against the weaker teams, like he did against Essendon with that 49 disposal game. The arrival of Connor Butterick into that backline should also have negligible impact on his scoring, and it should only improve as Dale gets more time with that role to himself, with his main competitors in that area in the Western Bulldogs backline being JJ and Caleb Daniel in previous seasons, and both of them leaving in the last 2 years. And so for these reasons, I've put him in 8th. One spot above Bailey Dale, I have Dane Zorko. Ever since 2024, Dane Zorko has been a lock in our backlines, owning that halfback distributor role in that Brisbane backline and setting up the majority of their scores. However, with the improvement of newer players like Darcy Wilmot and Jasper Fletcher, the powers that be at Brisbane might decide to ease Zorko out of that role and give their future more time and experience in that position. While I still believe Zorko will be Brisbane's prime kicker, his age and injury susceptibility stops him from troubling the top 5 on this list and leaves him at 7th. In number 6 on this list, I have Jordan Clark. Whilst inconsistent scoring has hurt Jordan Clark and many of his owners in the past, the arrival of Judd McVie might finally convince Justin Longmuir that speed is the best way to get the ball out of the Freo backline. This favours Jordan Clark, as he is a much faster ball mover than the likes of Luke Ryan. While he still probably won't get the majority of the kick-ins, he will be the second in most of the chains out of the backline, which can score even better than taking the kick-ins himself, which is why I've put him just outside the top 5 in 6th. In 4th and 5th, I've put Lockie Ash and Lockie Whitfield. These two are basically impossible to separate due to having identical roles in the same team, but I've ranked Ash over Whitfield due to a lower price and him being younger. Both of them have a monopoly over that halfback distributor role in that Giants outfit, and I don't see the Giants getting any worse with the inclusions they've gotten in, which is why I have both Lockie Ash and Lockie Whitfield in 4th and 5th respectively. In 3rd, I have Jack Sinclair. For the last 4 years, Jack Sinclair has been a premier option in our teams for scoring, and I don't see that stopping in 2026. With Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera likely moving to a midfield role in 2026, that leaves Sinclair back as the first choice option to move the ball out of the St Kilda defence. While it's still not sure what role in this new St Kilda team Sam Flanders will play, it surely shouldn't impact Sinclair's scoring too much, and at 600k, he presents as a very safe option for either D1 or D2 in our backlines, leading me to place him in 3rd on this list. In second on this list is Connor Rozee. Moving out of the midfield in 2025, Connor Rozee has reinvented himself as a halfback distributor, and one of the best in the AFL at that. While shifting into a new role last season cost him points and resulted in a lower season-wide average, this season should have no such dents in scoring, and it's likely with the inclusion of Jacob Ware and Will Brodie, Josh Carr will want to keep Rozee in this halfback role. He's also a much cheaper option than everyone else in the top 5, which puts him in second and the first defender I chose for my December team, which you can see in the top corner now and is linked in the description. But who did I rank first? Who do I think is the best player you can start in the defensive line? Well, it's none other than the man, the myth, the messiah, Nasiah Wanganeen-Milera. The best player in the second half of last season, Naz finished with the highest average for SuperCoach in defense, with 5 scores of 140 plus in his last 10 games. With all the new introductions into the St Kilda team over the offseason, it might be a slower start for Naz as everyone settles into their respective roles. But he will still be one of, if not the highest scorer in our backlines, if not in the whole competition, with the potential to average over 125 for the whole season. This is why I have him ranked highest of all the players we can start in our backlines, and while I didn't select him in my initial team, he will be the first one I will try and fit in. And so that's it. That's my ranking of the top 10 players you can start in defense in SuperCoach for 2026. As I said in the beginning, this is the first in a 5-part series of ranking players in various positions, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to like and comment your thoughts as well as hyping the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Happy coaching.